Bet you weren't expecting this one. Hello guys, this is UniversalGiant and I don't feel like playing Soul Silver right now. So let's... The Nintendo 64 port of the arcade classic Cruis'n World. And right now I only feel like going through the Cruis'n World mode. So let's cruise the world! Now, there are a number of different cars you could go through since I'm playing this on the emulator as opposed to the console because I could not find a nice way to record from the N64 at this point and I really wanted to play this game. I like the thing with the stripes on it because stripes are awesome. I also have unlocked a couple of different power levels. I'm going to be using 2 because I like 2, and I'm also going to be changing up the color scheme of the car because I like changing up color schemes. I don't know, I just like this car in black for some reason. So let's get started cruising the world here. This game is pretty much everything you would expect out of a classic arcade driving kind of game. Just go from start to finish, try not to crash into other cars, try to finish as high a place as possible. You can finish in the top 3, anywhere in the top 3, it doesn't matter, it'll allow you to progress either way. There are a number of different modes in this game. I'm only going to be showing off Cruise the World because I couldn't be asked to do the championship mode right now. I mean, if there's a high enough demand for it, I will, but I don't really intend to show it off right now. So, this game! The biggest thing is to avoid crashes like those. The CPUs love running into each other. It's your objective not to run into them. It's pretty much that simple, except in the Cruise the World mode you also have a couple of civilian cars that are driving around, and those will be the black dots on the mini-map on the right side of the screen, where the red dots are your opponents, and they're the ones that are actually trying to keep up with you, but they'll crash just as often. So, this game has a number of different venues all across the world. At first I thought it was extremely stereotypical the way they cover some of the areas later, but I was actually surprised to realize I think they sent a team of people to go across the world and actually, you know, take notes on, pictures of, and graphically stylize the areas that they were supposed to be mimicking, which is pretty neat. And you can see the guy in second place was right on my ass there, but it doesn't matter, we finished first. Oh, fun times with this game. And since I don't have too many high scores, we're going to be getting a bunch of high scores, even though they mean relatively nothing in this mode. And we're moving on to Japan, which is nowhere near Hawaii, except it sort of is. You can also get a boost start in the beginning. I do not know how to do it. I believe I got the boost start once in my lifetime, and I've gone through several hundred races, so I really don't know what the timing for that is supposed to be. You can also do tricks in this game! I'm not going to do too many of them because more often than not, they're not very helpful. The wheelie you do by double tapping the A button, the biggest help that is getting over crashes because these guys like crashing into each other a lot. Or if you find that you just have no other way of getting beyond a dude or something. Did he just break apart one of the statues? I think he did. So many objects in this game, you can't tell what's breakable and what isn't. Sometimes it's stupid hard to tell. I mean, trees can be as solid as diamond, while rocks and stuff would pretty much be crushed under your weight like bushes would. You have no way of knowing unless you actually purposely run into the things and go out of your way to hit them to see whether or not they have collision detection at all. I do want to show off a couple of other tricks besides the jump flip, but okay, we're approaching the end of Japan anyway. A lot of the courses in the Cruise the World mode are actually pretty short, which is why I wanted to show this one off first. But this game... There aren't many games that I have that most people haven't already heard of, because when I buy a game, I want to know that I really, really want it, and that there's a lot of replay value in it. And when I play a game, when I buy a game, I want to know it's going to be a game that I'll be going back to time and time again, a game that I will get the most out of for my money. And this, in all honesty, is not one of those games. It's actually one of the few games I bought because I was able to beat it so quickly, if that makes any sense. I mean, if you guys remember back in the day when you didn't have the YouTubes or fancy internet reviewers, and that was a really neat trick, that you had no way of knowing what a game was like until after you played a demo of it or something, or you went to a friend's house who had it. And this is one of those games that I actually first played at a demo at a Toys R Us, and I beat it in about an hour in this mode of play, and it was... For the reason I beat it just like right there in the store in the hour that I bought it, because I said, oh wow, this game is fun and easy, let me buy it. I don't know why I thought it was easy. It is not easy in the least bit. We're about to crash through the finish sign, and I am doing really, really well for some reason. But it's one of those games that I bought simply because it was so easy, because I was a kid and I didn't like difficult things. And in case you're wondering, this is on easy mode, because even easy difficulty gives me trouble, and I'm still not getting that boost start. But this game, I mean, a lot of N64 racers are known for rubber banding and stuff to make the game artificially difficult. Arcade games are legitimately difficult because they want your money, and the only way they get your money is if you lose a lot and you have to pay to get to another game. So this game doesn't necessarily need the rubber banding. The opponents are just about as fast as you. If you're lucky, you're a little bit faster than them. I've found sometimes that's true, other times it's not. At least in Cruis'n World mode, I think you're slightly faster than them, no matter what power level you pick, although when you turn, you do lose a significant bit of speed. But more on why I'm not playing this on the actual N64. I did dig around to find my old N64, and I played through the entire mode again, and got a couple of hours of practice under my belt with it, only to realize that I do not have a way of capturing it properly. I don't know if any of you have tried capturing from the composite on an HD PVR, at least the Hauppauge. It does not like composite. It was absurdly laggy to the point where I couldn't even have 3 seconds of good footage in an hour or two of footage. I ultimately decided I'd go with this, not only because the N64 capture didn't work, but because... Well, I mean, there are a number of advantages to it. For one, no matter how I'm able to capture N64 from the actual console, it's not going to look as good as the emulator, for starters. And two, I don't know if you've ever tried playing an N64 game on the console and then going over to the emulator, but I have to say, you can be a hell of a lot more precise with the emulator than you can with the joystick. I'd say with the emulator you can go up to like 100%. What's the term for it? What term does it use for responsiveness? Precision? I don't know. But with the actual old-school Nintendo 64 controller joystick, you can only go maybe 70-75%. So here, you don't... Although there is a drift in this game, it is most similar to, I want to say... I mean, I haven't done too many racing games for LPs. I'd like to say the closest one to it. Really? I'm stuck hovering on the... What the hell was that? Well, this is a race I'm doing over. I'd say the closest thing the drifting in this game comes to, which you tap the B button to do, is... I guess the Sonic Adventure 2 drifting, actually, where it's not drifting so much as it is intentionally losing control and speed for the sake of making a turn.
Ready, set, go.
I'm going to get that boost eventually. Oh, who am I kidding? No, I'm not. But the drift is actually something, in all of my years of playing this game, I did not actually know about until I went to get the game yesterday from the closet. opened up the instruction manual and saw, oh hey, press B while you're holding down the A button to do a drift. Because I never bothered to think that way when I was a kid. I mean, I don't know if many other racing games do that, I'm just that sheltered, but it never occurred to me to do that. I want to say there was something similar to that in Diddy Kong Racing as well, although I'm not sure if it was by the same... Yeah, I think it was like you tap the B button while you're racing and you do a tighter drift, but that was more turn on the dime kind of drift. This is really wonky drifting. But, I mean, on the emulator, I don't even have to do that to make a tight turn. What the hell? I've never had this much trouble before. Or at least with pulling off the tricks. You'd think it would be a little bit easier than that, but we are so close to the end, we have to pass that magenta car. I don't think we're going to do it now. Oh well. First one we have to do 3 times. You knew something was going to catch up to me eventually. My luck couldn't be that good for so long. So I hope you guys like Africa, because we're apparently going there a lot. But each of these courses do have a difficulty associated with them. I think it's just based on the course alone. Like whether or not they think it's difficult, or if it's long, or how wide it is. Let me see if I can get the... No, I couldn't do it. I tried to stay up on 2 wheels, like you're making a turn. That's how I would usually make tight turns when I was younger and playing this on the console, where I would do the double tap A to make a tight turn like that. You can turn tighter that way, it's just really annoying to pull off double tapping A. And you have to hold a certain direction, and that might not be the direction that you want to go, and it's sometimes more trouble than it's worth, which is why I think I had so much difficulty with this when I was younger. Or maybe the game really is that difficult and I'm just making up excuses for my younger self, I don't know. Hello! But the biggest problem with this game is other cars. It seems like, to me, the other cars in this game have no idea that you exist. And I can understand that from the civilian cars, but even the racers, they'll swerve into you for no reason whatsoever, just for the sake of swerving into you. It makes absolutely no sense. And really the only way I can win at this point is one of those guys happens to spin the other one out or something. Not like me. God damn it, purple car, why'd you run into yourself? Why are you still here, civilian purple car? Get out of the way! We beat somebody! Well, this has certainly turned into a train wreck of a video. Or more appropriately, a car wreck! I've already been shot for that badge. Oh, come on. Will Giant ever beat this one course, or will he continue to repeat it over and over again for a couple of minutes? I don't know. I was really hoping to do the other trick. One of these days I'll be able to show off the other trick. Payday is apparently not that day. But Cruis'n World was the first of its franchise to introduce the tricks and such. The couple of seconds that the tricks take off, you can see, like jump flip -1 second, or if I pull off the other trick, it's -2 seconds. That's for time trials and such. That doesn't matter for this. Even if you make a trick and you lose 1 second off of your time, it's not from relative to the other guys. You still have to beat them regardless of how many seconds you cut off your time from doing a trick. There we go. Now we just need to cause a couple of more crashes and we'll be set for first place. That's a shortcut over to the left. I never remember to take it. It's not that big of a shortcut. I also want to say in the arcade version, if you ran into animals and such, like the giraffes here, you would... I think their bodies would explode, and it was a really gory sight. I never played the arcade version too much. I'll probably comment on that more in the next video. I have no idea where the hell I'm going to split these, except for the fact that I'm going to split these, because this is probably going to amount to about an hour or so. Especially at the rate that we're going.